Picture this. It's 14th century England. You wake up freezing. The air inside your room smells of smoke, damp wool, and something you can't quite name. Now here's the strange part. If you suggest a hot bath, people don't think of comfort. They think you're taking a risk. Because to many people back then, warm water wasn't safety, it was exposure. Today, a shower resets your day, but in medieval England, being clean meant something entirely different. It meant managing smell, avoiding sickness, and surviving in a world without plumbing, soap, or modern medicine. So what did people actually do? And why did something as simple as warm water feel dangerous? Most mornings started small. A basin, cold water, a rough cloth. You washed your face, your hands, maybe your neck if you had time. That was it. Full body bathing wasn't impossible, but it wasn't routine either. Heating water required fuel, time, and labor. And for most households, that cost mattered. But the real reason went deeper than effort. After waves of deadly plague, fear shaped everyday life. Many people believed disease traveled through bad air, invisible and deadly. They imagined the skin had tiny openings, like doors, and warm water opened those doors. So if sickness was outside, why would you open the door? To us, that sounds backward, but to them, it felt like self-defense. Once you accept that logic, dirt stops looking like filth and starts looking like protection. This is where it gets fascinating. Wealthy people found another solution, one that didn't involve water at all: linen. Clean, white linen worn directly against the skin. Many believed it absorbed sweat and impurities, almost as if the clothing itself was doing the washing. So instead of bathing more, the elite changed linen more. Think of it like changing gym clothes after a workout, except they believed the fabric itself was the cleanser. A crisp white cuff wasn't just fashion, it was a message. I'm clean without getting wet. But life still had a smell. Cities were crowded, homes were smoky, and animals lived close to people. So fresh didn't mean odorless, it meant covered. Herbs, oils, rose water, spices, anything that made daily life tolerable. In a way, medieval deodorant wasn't personal, it was atmospheric. Even dental care existed, just not gently. People rubbed their teeth with cloths, salt, powders, and herbs. It wasn't comfortable, but it was intentional. Pain wasn't ignored. Medicine simply hadn't caught up yet. And then there's the part modern minds can't ignore: bathrooms. Even castles had no flush toilets. Waste dropped into pits or moats below. No pipes, no water, just gravity and time. In summer, the smell didn't stay down there. It climbed. Some garderobes even doubled as places to hang clothing, because strong fumes helped keep pests away. It wasn't pleasant, but it was practical. In towns, waste didn't disappear on its own. Buckets filled, pits overflowed, and someone had to deal with it. That job fell to night workers, who removed waste after dark. The work was dangerous, exhausting, and absolutely essential. Imagine New York or Chicago without sewers, without garbage trucks, without sanitation crews. Now imagine living like that every day. This wasn't messy, it was urban survival. And yes, the obvious question, there was no toilet paper. People used what they had, cloth scraps if possible, otherwise leaves, straw, moss. It wasn't ideal, but it worked well enough. Here's what most people miss though. Medieval life wasn't a joke about dirt. It was a world built with limited tools, fragile knowledge, and constant risk. People tried to stay clean, just not in our modern way. They adapted, they managed, and they endured. So the next time you step into a hot shower, remember this. For most of human history, warmth wasn't comfort. It was cost. It was risk. Sometimes it was fear. And yet, people still found ways to live with dignity. History doesn't just get darker the closer you look. It gets more human. and that humanity showed itself in small, careful choices. Everyday habits shaped by observation rather than science. People learned what seemed to help and what seemed to harm. They paid attention to patterns. Who got sick? When sickness spread? What made it worse? In a world without antibiotics, prevention mattered more than cure. So daily life became a constant act of risk management. Homes were aired out whenever possible. Windows weren't open for comfort, but for circulation. Fresh air was believed to push sickness away. Smoke from hearth fires wasn't just warmth, it filled rooms on purpose. Many believed it cleansed the air, driving away harmful forces they couldn't see. Vinegar became a household staple, used to wipe surfaces, to rinse hands, to clean wounds. Alcohol, when available, served a similar role, not as medicine in the modern sense, but as something stronger than plain water, something that felt protective. Food followed the same logic. Eating wasn't just about hunger, it was about balance. Heavy foods were thought to slow the body, cold foods to weaken it, hot foods to overstimulate it. Meals were adjusted during times of illness. People avoided anything believed to make the body too open, too vulnerable. Moderation became another form of hygiene. Clothing choices mattered too. Layers weren't only for warmth, they were about control. Too much sweat was dangerous. Too much cold was dangerous. The goal was always stability in an unstable world. Public spaces reflected this thinking. Markets were busy, but often regulated. Trades that produced strong smells were pushed to the edges of town, not because people understood bacteria, but because bad smells were associated with danger. Hospitals existed, but they weren't places of cure the way we imagine today. They were places of isolation, care, prayer. If someone fell seriously ill, separation mattered more than treatment. Containing sickness was often the best option available. Religion played a role in all of this. Faith wasn't separate from daily health. It was woven into it. Cleanliness carried moral meaning. Illness was sometimes seen as imbalance, sometimes as a test, sometimes as punishment. Prayer and ritual gave people structure, a sense of order in a world full of uncertainty. Children grew up inside this system. They learned early what to touch, what to avoid, how to recognize sickness in others. By adulthood, these instincts were automatic. Survival was learned behavior. Constant exposure shaped bodies over generations. Immune systems adapted. Tolerance increased. Life was hard, but people endured. So when we imagine medieval England as nothing but filth and ignorance, we miss the reality. They weren't careless. They weren't indifferent. They were navigating a dangerous world with limited tools and doing the best they could with what they knew. Every choice, how often to wash, what to wear, where waste was placed, was an attempt to survive a little longer. And somehow, it worked. Communities grew, cities expanded, knowledge slowly accumulated. The systems weren't perfect, but they were enough. Enough to endure, enough to adapt, enough to carry humanity forward until science finally caught up with survival.